stump, yeah? Did you notice there's some words on it or something? I don't know. Me and T. What do you think me and T might be? Yeah, I think that's good information. Great. Well, I have a special story today. It is one of my all-time favorites. Does anybody, have you heard this story before? Anybody heard this story before? And a giving tree. We're going to learn a little bit more about that stump and how he went from being a giving tree to all that was left of him was that stump. It's a story by Shel Silverstein. And it was written for Nikki. Once, there was a tree. That tree. How many of you have trees in your yard that you like? One of my favorite things to do is, when I was little, was to climb a tree. I had a special tree. When we have a special tree, we kind of at my school, we do this like me too. We have a tree. And she loved the little boy. I'm going to hold it right here. Is that okay? And every day, the boy would come. And he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. I think I'd like to be king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk. Yep. Can you see him? All you can see is his toes and his fingers. He's climbing right up behind. And he would swing from her branches. Can you see where the little boy is now? Kind of up there. And he would eat her apples and would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by. And the boy grew older. Can you see his feet? How many feet are there? 4. I know, something different. And the tree was often alone. Then one day, the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples." "Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city, and then you will have money, and you will be happy." Do you think that will make the boy happy? And the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples, and he carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm." He said, "I want a wife, and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" Could a tree give the boy a house? What's a tree made out of? What are houses made out of? "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house, but cut off my branches and you can build a house, and then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and he carried them away to build her house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, am too old and sad to play, said the boy. I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat? Cut down my trunk and make a boat, said the tree, and then you can sail away and be happy. And so the boy cut down her trunk, and he made a boat, and he sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. Wasn't really happy. And after a long time, the boy came back again. Can you tell how long it's been? Look at the boy now. Doesn't look quite the same, does he? I'm so sorry, boy, said the tree, but I have nothing left to give you. The apples are gone. My teeth are too weak for apples, said the boy. Well, my branches are gone, said the tree. Well, you cannot swing on them. I am too old to swing on branches, said the boy. My trunk is gone, said the tree. You cannot climb. I am too tired to climb, said the boy. Oh, I'm sorry, sighed the tree. I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump, and I am sorry. Do you think the tree has anything left to give the boy? Watch. I don't need very much now, said the boy. Just a quiet place to sit and rest, and I am very tired. Well, said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could. Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down, sit and rest. And guess what? And the boy did. You're right. And the boy did. And the tree was happy. Why do you think the tree was so happy? Why do you think? Yeah. She had the boy with her. Who did she love most of all? Did she give everything she had for the boy? Yeah. Does that remind you of anybody else? Who's given us? Yes, God. God's given us everything He has. He even gave us His most special thing, His Son, for you and for me. And you know what? I think I saw that boy. I think he's coming to see his old friend the stone. So if you quietly sneak back to your spot, don't scare him. I think the boy's coming now. Except he kind of looks like an old man. A really old man.
Well, it's definitely harder to get around these days. You know, the old knees aren't feeling so good. Hips, they're going too. Nut, good thing I got my good old handy cane here. Helps me along a little bit. It's nice. I like that. I see all of you gentlemen here have treated your lady friends to a nice date out at Ash Wednesday services and soup. Pretty romantic. Oh my goodness, I tell you. Getting harder and harder to move along when you get to be a certain age. Is that right there, Paul? That's right. Hey, I stopped by the church today. Nice church. Whole lot of stuff going on here, though. Tell you that pastor that you have. I'd get rid of him. Tell me that an elderly woman stopped in today. She stopped in because she, wanted to plan a funeral. That's kind of tough planning your funeral, but said it was important. She said to the pastor, there's just two things I want you to do for me, Pastor. First is I want to be cremated. Pastor said, that's okay. A lot of people are being cremated. We can do that. The second thing she said was that I want my ashes scattered at Walmart. Pastor said, why at Walmart? And she said, well, at least my daughter will come visit me once a week. That was a joke, little one. Tough crowd. I tell you. Came all the way out here today because I knew I'd find my old friend. I knew he'd be here. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been way too long. We've been together, haven't we? Long time, long time. Many happy moments. Glad to come tonight. Glad to be with you. I remember some of those things. It's not easy remembering, right? Especially when you get to a certain age. You know what I'm talking about, Jake? Yes, sir. Hard to remember, but I do remember when, we were kind of first together. And I was just a little boy, and I was up there, and I'd climb up those trees. I tell you, that was fun. We'd swing back and forth and be with the tree, and then our branches would just kind of like hug me. I love that. I love you. It was good to be together. And then those apples. Oh, there were so many apples. And they were so tasty and so sweet and delicious, That apple was, fabulous. And I remember eating green apples, too. You couldn't wait. You had to try them. I got sicker than a dog. Yeah, those were the days. I remember, too, how you provided for my every need in that. And as I grew older, it's Valentine's Day. You got to remember the sweethearts in your life, right? That was pretty special there. And then we got older, I asked about a house, and you gave up your branches so I could have a fire and warmth in my life and have my family have a shelter. And then, how about that boat? That was something. It sailed away. Seemed like I was gone an awfully long, long time. I'm kind of thinking that you were there in all those moments of my life. And you provided for my every need. You welcomed me. You took care of me. You gave me love and shelter. And I was selfish. That darn selfishness is hard. You got the selfishness, and you take and you take and you take, and you're thinking only about yourself, and so you keep taking. And I took the apples, I took branches, I took the boat, I took all those things. And my friend, I don't even think I said thank you once for that, how much I appreciated you and the gifts that you gave me. Sorry about that. I'm very grateful for all that you did for me. I'm very thankful. Well, I suppose you're wondering why I came all the way out here tonight and how it is that what I have on my mind. And I got to tell you, I stopped at the church and that preacher had an idea. God help anybody when a preacher has an idea. He thought that now that I'm in the 80 club, that I have some wisdom and I could share about the good news of Jesus during Lent. And I thought, oh my goodness, I couldn't possibly do that. And then he said this, and I thought this was really great, because he said, that there is nobody else that could possibly do this as well as you. And he was half right. There's nobody else that would do this. So he volunteered me. And here I am. Get together. Talk about all this good stuff. So I came out here, my friend, to ask you something, and maybe we could get together and come up with an idea here. And the one thing that I've been thinking about is your story and my story, how they're woven together, about how gracious and generous you were in giving me all these things, and then how God is so gracious and generous and has given us all these things as well. So maybe during Lent we could tell the story of the giving tree and my story and your story together, and then weave God's story in about His Son Jesus. You know, it's quite remarkable. And that story is there for everybody to hear. You know, there's a Bible verse, I'm trying to think of that scripture verse. It's the one we had to memorize in old Mrs. Hanson's Sunday school class. What was it? John 3:16, you know? For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, right? For God so loved the world that He gave, and He gave, and He gave. And as true as it is of the tree, it's the same truth for us. That God continues to give and provide, and most of all, most importantly, He gave us His Son Jesus. That's pretty incredible. You know, there's a Lenten hymn. Some of you have heard it, I'm sure. It's called Were You There? Everybody heard that one? Were you there? The second verse is, Were you there when they nailed Him to the tree? Were you there when they nailed Him to the tree? You see, when we look at all the things that God provides here and we think of Jesus, it is to the cross that we go. It is to the tree that we go. And we realize that the tree is the giving tree, right? And that tree is the tree of life. And that God has given it to us as a gift in His Son. I don't know if I have anything to share or not. I'll have to go back and tell the pastor that you and I came up with a couple ideas to have here, and maybe we could take it away. You know, God gave us some gifts, I think. The gift of people in our lives, friends, family, co-workers, schoolmates. God gave us the gift of those relationships to have with one another. Support, care, love. And not only that, but God gave us our good health, right? Such as it is. Although I have to admit, I'm losing more body parts than I care to admit. My hearing aid is on the counter, and my glasses are on the shelf, and my teeth are in the cup. But it's all good. God's given us that gift of life. But I think maybe I'll mosey on back to talk to the preacher about next week. We're talking about nurturing our roots of faith. Now, hope he likes the idea. He can be kind of a cantankerous old soul. All right. Bye, my friend. Thank you for talking to me.